Yes, and they're applauding for Thomas and I because we finally got our computers to work.
Yay!
Yes, ready to go for Rosehill, which was supposed to be tonight, but it's not tonight because it's 103 degrees Celsius down there, so they're all boiling.
Yeah, not us.
Yes, well, 103 Celsius, that would be like the sun, probably, but it's not.
Yeah, it's definitely warm, and I don't think the horses should be running.
Yeah, it's also going to be a little bit wet down there. Right now, it's soft 6, I think. I see it's overcast. The heat probably dries it out a little bit, but I would expect the ground to still have a little give, Tom.
I would think it'd have some, but again, how much? I mean, yeah, it's been pretty dry. I know they're watering, but it can't be 100% for the horse that wants a really firm going versus the ones that want a little give on the surface.
Speaking of give, today we gave away picks at Laurel Park over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Not sure what we'll do tomorrow, but I know for sure the Cigar Mile is tomorrow. The wagering guide is available along with the smart sheets for that. There is a link for Guaranteed Tip Sheet and all the free picks, as well as the wagering guide, if you'd like to take advantage of that. Sometime before the racing goes off on Sunday, because they are not racing today, they're racing tomorrow in the evening. So some Saturday night, late night racing, party time. That'll be right here at horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, hit that HRT gear button. All right, Thomas, we're both pressed for a little bit of time today, so let's make our work. Number 6 is the Catanach Jewelers Handicap. It'll be at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. This one, they're going to run 1,100 meters. If we take a look at the Rosehill Racecourse, here you can see the weather. Should not really get that much better. Overcast. We're going to go 1,100 meters, so we're going to start right about here in the chute, make our way around, come on home. Is post position with that probably sweeping turn really make a difference?
Yeah, you don't want the outside.
Doesn't want the outside.
Yeah, that or you got to have some kind of speed to be able to, and of course this is a short race, so 5.5 furlongs. So it's not going to, you do want to get some cut there.
If you're looking for speed, there's none other than Hawker Hall and Flight Crew. Flight Crew will be flying, appropriate name. As they settle in that turn and make their way home, it's going to be a single file line like it used to be at the lunch line back in high school and middle school and so forth. And as they make their way to the finish line, Hanau, the Australian horse, will be a touch quicker than Crepe Myrtle or Appin Girl. Thomas, who is going to win race number 6, the Jewelers Handicap?
I'm going to start with number 6, Hawker's Hall. She ran second last time out, and she ran second most of the race around at 1,100. Let's see what she can do tonight. I think it was a first up effort at Kimberly Grange. So, yeah, I mean, she's lightly raced. She got 3 wins from 8 starts. I think she's got a nice chance and get on the front. She could be very interesting. Number 4, Dollar Magic is going to be my next choice. It's only 3 races from 16 tries at this distance, but she's in the money 11 times. Yeah, that's pretty consistent. Maybe not winning, but certainly hitting the board. She's good at first up, in the money 6 out of 7 times. And she's dropping back a little from last time, so let's see. And finally, 7, Crepe Myrtle will be my final choice. She's been running on good surfaces and liking good surfaces. 2 for 3 at this distance. She's been in the money 5 out of 6 of the times. She's a twice in a row winner, moves up a little bit. And Godolphin owns this horse. So always take a look at a Godolphin if it's any good. This one appears to be pretty good.
Good enough to be my top pick, Thomas. The only race that this horse that had was kind of off was the debut. Everything after that has been really solid. 3 wins, a couple of seconds, but those seconds, one of them was 9/10 of a length, so within a length, and the other one was 1/10 of a length. They measure things a little bit differently down there. Otherwise, the horse would have won every race since its debut. So absolutely one you have to have in your picks. Dollar Magic, another one You and I agree on. I put this one second, Thomas, because he loves second at the track and distance. Look at that. Track 5 times out of the distance, 4 seconds, and a third. You got to put him there. Hawker Hall, the 6 horse. I think we're in agreement so far on all of our horses. This one is definitely a live selection in here, Thomas, and one who should be a little bit better in the second up, although the resume there is a little bit on the light side. And then finally,
he doesn't race a ton either, so gotta kind of throw that in there.
My final pick looks like it's the longest shot, the second longest shot on the board there. We are in the land down under, where women glow and men plunder, Thomas. You know where that's from or not?
No.
There's a song from Men at Work.
Oh, okay.
From the land down under. You remember that in the 80s?
Yeah, probably not, but
yeah, probably not.
But it's, I'm getting old. I have.
Well, if the track remains soft, the horses hit the board in 5 out of 6, wet 8 out of 9. Clearly, a little bit of moisture for plunder might have him plundering the winner's share when the race is all said and done. Next for you and I have one more pop culture reference on the day. This one, I did X out all of these things. I told you my computer was having fun. This one is the Rosehill Gardens Chandon Handicap, 1,300 meters, Tom. So 1,300 meters are going to start here. They're going to turn pretty quick. So last time out, you were pretty adamant you don't want to be outside. Are you more adamant on the don't want to be outside opinion?
Again, you got to have some. I think you have to get good speed, or you got to have a horse that can close. You can tuck in and close with. I didn't see a lot in this race. I think you're going to have good post position and get the trip.
Well, Flying Thinker and Miss Emma, those two should be out in front. Although Maid of Moolah, I got nice play on words there, right there. Dame Commander, they should be your front runners when it gets going as the race settles in. Looks like most of the field wants to be middle forward, so maybe Tom's idea of a closer is the way to go if you want to find the winner. Final late speed is Changing Colors, just spelled differently than we do here. That one should be coming with the most enthusiasm at the end of the race, Thomas, but doesn't have enough to get to the top of your picks.
No. 13 does. Bella Corazon. She ran really well first up last time. She ran third at 1,200 meters. She's won at this distance, second up. And she moves a little bit up in class, but I'm going off that last race, and she ran well. She gets a better draw than she had last time around, and I think that's going to be the difference. 3, Flying Thinker. She was dead last time out. After sitting mid-pack, adds a little distance today. She's 1 second up at twice at this distance. So I think she'll run a little better, and that's why I'm going to put her second. And finally, Wings of Desire was my final choice. She won at first asking last time, and then at 1,200 meters. She's ran second in her barrier trials. So returning to quickly turning around. She moves up in class, and she's one of those who will sit behind the pace. Now she's got the position to be able to do that just tactically. The thing with her is that her previous races in March and before were sucked. So she's really obviously needed time off because it's a big difference in that last race in winning that one.
Speaking of winning, we both think the same one's going to win. Bella Corazon. That one is not that one. That one is this one. 5-1. Not bad, I think. If he comes home the winner, you get $12 back. Looking at this one, last time out was its first up. Pretty strong effort. And the resume says the second start, on paper at least, should be better. You can't say in terms of time than the first up. Kill Kenny. Great idea if you're not a fan of Kenny. 16-1. That one is the same story as the 13 there, Thomas. Plus this one, she was much faster last out than the prior run at the same distance. Number 4. We're not killing anybody with this one. Number 4 is Super New or Nue. I'm not quite 1,000% sure on how to pronounce that, so I'll stick with New. This one sparkled in her last, Thomas, running about 2 seconds faster. I'm always a big fan of horses that are running faster times. Always a sign that they're coming to form. And then finally, this seems to be the theme for this race for me. Hurry Miss. Doesn't look like it much on paper there, Thomas, but there was plenty of internal improvement or signs of life, as you call it, for Hurry Miss in her last outing. 3 races to go. So we're going to close all these things out for like the 5th time today. Tom, that's how many times I've had to go through this to get ready for today. This one is the Tab Handicap. Another
consistent, though.
Yeah, 1,400 meters. You're going to step back a little bit. So a little bit more time to get into the turn. So being outside less detrimental, considering you got a little bit more time to position yourself?
It's not where I prefer to be, but this isn't a huge field, so that may help a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of scratches, I think, in this one. So we take a look at the pace setup in the very beginning. Maybe a few in there. Could get, man, looks like most of them want to be middle forward in this regard. So could get a little hot. Maybe having a good settling position. Well, that looks about properly balanced to me, as my Welsh friend would say. So it looks like this one's going to come down to the horses with the most, well, it looks pretty much wide open.
That's, yeah, I was going to say, I think the way I looked at this race, I'm going scratching my head on it because this wasn't one of the easier races of the day, to say the least. It took me a while.
So when you were done scratching, what came out?
I came up with 2, Winchat. I returns to the races. Prior, he had some really ugly results, to say the least. Some were at this level, and one was in a listed race. She won his barrier trial and finished second in the other. He's 2 for 4 at this distance, and he's always been in the money in his first starts of the season. If he's ready, I think he could be pretty good. 6, Astro, my next choice. Showed pace last race, then backed up and ran 10th. He won at the Gold Coast and tried. After winning at the Gold Coast track, he tried some listed and a little higher level races, and he didn't do too well. So he's one of these horses that should be favorably placed and has the chance to enjoy this kind of track and this field if it gets the right trip. And finally, I'm going to go with 9, Mickey's Medal. One of his last 3 of 5 races on this course. He's ran second last time out at Canterbury, so a good, decent race. He been better at the racing versus the winning at the distance. Well, yeah, that's a little confusing, I know, but he does know how to figure it out. And it's 7 furlong race is always a tough one, in my opinion. I think after that last race, he's moving in the right direction, and that's why I with that second. So I don't think it's a winning effort quite yet, but I can't leave him off my ticket.
Well, Grid Girl gets to the top of my ticket. That's number 11, 8-1 right now. You got to ride them when they're hot, Thomas. This one's 2 in a row, and let's see if it can make it 3 in a row. Number 9, you said you can't leave that one off your ticket. I didn't leave it off my ticket either, Mickey's Medal. This one has won 3 out of 5 races at the track, in room for 4 out of 6 in the second start after a layoff. Pippi Beach, the 15. This one fires first race off of the bench. Let's see if it agrees with me over here or not. Sometimes it doesn't agree with me. Is there not even a first up on here? Or first up, win in a third. And then at the track, the horse has been pretty solid here at the distance and track. I got too many different other things up in here. They have just a track one in here somewhere, Thomas. Yeah, 5, 2, 1, and 1. There you go. So likes to come off the bench, ready to run, and particularly likes running at Rosehill. And then finally, Winchat, the one that you have as well. I have 2, Thomas. Some agreement on this race. Winchat for me made the list because the comments say been in the money every first up run. Respect. So you got to respect what the commentary person respects. Race 9, 2 more races to go, Tom. God, I can't believe I have to do this all over again. Stuff drives me bananas. But here we're going to go with the Captivant at Kia Ora Handicap, 2,000 meters. They're going to be running a long way. So long that they're going to start all the way down here. They got one quarter turn, another quarter turn, another quarter turn, and then they're coming their way home. So would you call that? Like 1.5 turns, Tom?
Yeah, I would. Would you 1.5 or 2?
Somewhere along those lines.
Yeah, I can make an argument for 3, but it's still, let's just say that you and I would not run as fast as the horses are going to.
Probably, yeah, not for very long anyway. So looking at that, do you want a closer? Or do you want get a little bit of speed? What are you hoping for?
I want a mid-pack horse.
Well, according to this,
especially a small field like this.
Yeah, well, according to this, King Pedro going to be way behind everybody else. Everybody else going to get out there, so maybe a little bit competitive early on. Yeah, you can see most of those horses all by themselves up there. Poor King Pedro is going to feel like he's not even in this race. But at the end, I got a feeling King Pedro will show up, and he does. Bella de Tela and United Kingdom will also be a part of the late cavalry. Tom, who's going to take home the 2,000-meter run?
I'm going to start with 1. Brazen drops back to a level after racing at much higher levels, and he's been good at this distance with 2 wins and 2 placings from his 4 starts. He ran what I would refer to as an even race last time out, but I think based on his past efforts at this distance, this is probably the best distance for him, and just a little bit of improvement and maybe a little class relief will make the difference. 9, Format is going to be my next choice. So he ran 3rd in a benchmark 72 race last time out, and that was going 1,900 meters. I think he's not. I don't know if that race was far enough for him, because the distance he's won out are 2,000 meters, 2,100 meters, and 2,400 meters. So, and he's winning on good ground in those races. So I think he just needed a little more distance to be able to get going in that money. He's won lower levels. He was a beaten favorite last time out. I think you can't dismiss him at all. And finally, I'm going to take 10, United Kingdom. Ran 5th last time out at 2,000 meters and was 3rd in the race before at the same distance. He's only placed once at this distance in 3 attempts, but I just think he needs a little firmer track, maybe. And I think based on this field, I think a placing is not unreasonable to think, and that's why I'm putting him in for 3rd.
Yeah, I think you're probably pretty right on that, Thomas. So I'm going to start off with Format, number 9, one that was in your picks, made my picks too, Tom. Last race probably would be good enough to win this race, but the resume, the CV, says that he will improve in round 2 off the sidelines. The horse that's going to be all by myself at the beginning of the race, King Pedro. Well, you always got to vote for Pedro. That is my second pop culture reference of the day, and he'll be coming with the most vigor at the long race. Number 2, Belle de Tel. I think I left the E off. Yeah, because there's an E. So I'll put the E in my notes there. So when we put them over at horseracingtoday.net, it'll be correct. But this one put in a much better effort last out. Again, another one of those Tom horses. Signs of Life. And then you did mention, Tom, you cannot leave United Kingdom off of your ticket. I took your advice to heart. I put that one on my ticket as well. The last race was a touch better than the finish. If you map out the final time, and making that classic 3rd start after layoff offers some hope for a little bit more today. And a lot of these horses are coming off the bench as they're really kind of gearing up for their summer meet. So horses that have a little bit of work on the turf already might have an edge early in the season. The finale for you and me today, Thomas, before we get off to the finale, any kind of a sense of what might be on tap for Foreign Friday next Friday?
Yeah, we'll go back to one of our favorite places, Chandon.
Well, yes, back to
do as well as we can.
Yeah, it's kind of like going through one of those areas in a favela where you get pickpocketed. 1,300 meters. Going to go here, make that quick turn. Tom already told us you don't want to be on the outside unless you got a lot of dash to get you to that corner first. And if that's the case, well, Elsenboy from New Zealand, that one should get out to the front into that turn, but maybe a little bit stuff to the inside might make it a little bit more difficult. Settling position, not a whole lot of speed in there. Everybody middle back, so maybe those front runners can get away with some reasonable times and have an opportunity to stay there. If not, Sly Boots sounds unusual, and Shahab, good thing that's a H and not a T. All right, Tom, for the finale today, who's going to make their way to the winner's enclosure?
All right, start with number 3, Step Aside. Ran 2 barrier trials, ran 10th in his first one, and then ran 3rd. Both of these were over this track. He's won at this level in the past, and he has 2 wins at Rosehill, plus 3 wins at this distance. He's won 50% of the time first up. That's pretty good. I'm going to put him on top and hope I get a little bit of a price. That number 4 Shab is going to be my next choice. Ran 4th in the last 2 races after returning from a layoff. Both those races were at higher levels, but they would be considered a little lesser tracks than Rosehill. He's won at this level in the past, has 2 wins and 3 placings with 9 runs at this distance. And I think he'll be closing nicely, as you pointed out on the chart. And finally, I'm going to take number 10, Barthoff. Ran 4th at this level last time out and got interested late in the race. So always like to see maybe one coming up a little bit. He comes off a winning effort at Warwick Farms prior to that, and it was a benchmark 72 level. So, he's in good form. And then with that, I think I can't leave him off. And that's why with the form, and not to win. I think he's one of those that just be around when it's end time.
I think we don't agree on anything. I have Tuned as my top pick. Ran at the distance once, and he won with a solid time. So I would think that we would see another good effort there. Applaud the 13, 14-1, right next to each other. Came off the sidelines to win, and his past performances say that this horse wins in bunches. Number 14, Silvanito. Another one, decent price right there. It's one at the track, ran 5 times, has 4 seconds. I'm glad I got that right over here. So you got to put him 3rd, Tom, coming off a winning effort last time. And then the finality for me sounds unusual. That is the selection, number 11, as I'm all on these outside horses again. Post positions don't mean nothing to me. This one runs really well. In the first up, you can see here, got a couple of seconds so far. And lifetime, this guy's been in the money 6 out of 7. And yet you're still getting 10-1 for a horse that knows where the finish line is. Again, sometime between today and tomorrow when they're running these delayed races over at horseracingtoday.net, I will post my picks, Tom's picks, our thoughts, along with the replay of the show. It'll be right there. Just click on that. While you're at the Horse Racing Today site, kindly hit that HRT gear button. There will also be a link in the story for our tip jar. So if we find anything that you like that produces for you, hell, let us know about it and hit up that tip jar. 3 days left to take advantage of our Cyber Week merchandise at Horse Racing Today. We'll have to make one for See You in the Winner's Enclosure. We do have you in the See You in the Winner's Circle. And then again, just a reminder, tomorrow, the very last of the graded stakes races in the great state, the Empire State of Mind, New York. 3rd pop culture reference on the day. You can get all that and a lot more free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Please use the links in the description on YouTube or the ones that you find at horseracingtoday.net. And, of course, if you like what we do here and you don't want to miss Foreign Friday, you don't want to miss Terry and I Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button no matter where you're watching. thankfully, we got our computers to stay on for the entirety of the show. Thomas, yeah, that alone is a trip to the winner's enclosure. Any final words of wisdom for you before we go plunder ourselves?
Enjoy the heat. I know I will.
Yeah, you'll enjoy watching it because where we are, we ain't no heat.
No, far from.
It might be 103 down there. We're the 3 parts. We wouldn't change the weather at all.
Yeah, we're single digit, not quite 3 digits.
Not even close.
And I should point out, Chandon next time around is the Longines International Racing. And then Cayenne Rising will be going for 16 in a row races.
Oof, that's a big number there. So that's the one time
that will tie Golden 60 for a number of wins. And then there's another horse whose name has slipped my mind that has one more in a row.
So that's like the only time or one of the few times they let international horses over there, right?
Right. They allow that kind of money that they offer.
Yes,
Japan is the same way. They restrict to certain races. And of course, the Japan Cup was run last weekend, and a French horse did win that one.
That's why they don't let them in. All right, Thomas.
Oh, they let them in, but I think nowadays you got to be pretty good to beat those Japanese horses. They're tearing it up all over the world.
Yeah, they are pretty solid. Well, they love it, so they put a lot of money into it. All right, folks, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, no matter what you're doing. If you're late night or early morning, depending upon where you are, for Australia tomorrow, you're boiling in the heat on that side of the planet, or you're freezing in the cold on this side of the planet. We certainly hope either way you have God's grace, God's favor, and everything ends up in
the winner's enclosure.
Yes. See you on Monday, and we'll see you next Foreign Friday.